Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So my natural nails are already prepped and ready to go, and I'm just gonna apply my Jello Peel Off Base Coat. I'm gonna go ahead and cure it in my big lamp for about 60 seconds and then move on to applying my gel extensions. For extensions, I will be using a medium coffin, and these are already pre-etched on the bottom half, so we can save us some time on the prep steps and go right into applying gel glue. For gel glue, I will be using the Yogo Zombie Base Gel, which I've talked about in a previous video. This has grown to be my favorite gel to use for extensions because I just love the viscosity of it. It's a medium viscosity, so it's not super liquidy and it's easy to work with. And once I have the extension in place, I am going to flash cure it for about 10 seconds. And within the first 3 seconds, I'm going to be taking a flat brush and some alcohol and wiping away the excess glue before it cures. So my extensions are all applied. I am going to do a full cure in my bigger lamp for 60 seconds. Y'all, I don't know if y'all can hear this, but there is is it a cricket? I don't know. Whatever is outside my window right now. Why are you making that much noise? And I feel like it's just sitting on the windowsill, but I'm too lazy to get up and see. Because I do my nails at night all the time and it's never this loud. Like, what? Sir, go away. He's louder than the music that I was listening to in the background. I want y'all to hear this. So I'm gonna finish listening to my music. Sorry, you guys are not gonna get any sounds because he's winning. Okay, anyway, with Sir Cricket aside, what I'm doing here is doing additional shaping and filing. Even though these tips are already shaped, I like to do just a little bit more, you know. I want to make sure that these look customized to my natural nails. I'm also removing that little piece that always sits at the top of the extensions so that I don't have to do it later. After doing a little bit of filing, I'm going to seal my cuticles 2 different ways. So the first way is going to be taking my e-file and my bit and going around the cuticle area to make the extension sit flush to my natural nail. And then grabbing acetone in a flat brush, moving it in scrubbing motions at the bottom half of the extension so it melts just a little bit. So I think I may be confusing some of you because I have been seeing comments lately that ask why I use base gel in some videos versus why I don't in others. And I definitely need to be better about explaining in the particular video why I'm not using base gel or why I am. So in this video, I am not going to be using base gel because we are doing a marble design, which is going to have multiple layers of polish. If you apply too many layers of gel polish, it can potentially make the nail look bulky, and we don't want that. So to save myself from using an additional layer, I'm going to use a buffing block instead. All right, extensions done, applied, time to kick off the nail art. So to get started, I will be using this shade here from D&D and applying a thin layer of this, but I'm not gonna go all over the nail because essentially what we're gonna have is a marble ombre. So I'm only gonna apply this basically where my natural nail starts. So where you can see where the pink part of my nail just stops and where my nail is actually starting to grow. That's where I'm going to apply it and then work my way up towards the top of the extension. So once I'm done applying the milky white, I am going to cure it in a big lamp for 60 seconds. And then I'm going to grab my new products I have here, which are the Favori Muse Inks. And basically what these are inks. If you have seen my previous video where I did the marble nail design, maybe you haven't, but in case you did, in case you don't remember, I'm going to give you a recap. I had to use gel polish and alcohol to get the same outcome. And it took some time. A lot of y'all were in the comments like, this is cute, but I'm absolutely not putting in that much work for my nails. And I get it. But these make the marbling process so much easier because you don't have to cure them. You lay them on the nail, They dry and then you can layer them. I have 2 different collections here. The first one here has 6 neon colors, and this would be perfect for summertime. And then the second collection I have is the Topaz color set, which has 6 jewel tone colors, which could be used at any point in the year. So I'm actually going to grab 2 colors for this look. Both of these are going to be from the Topaz colors set. But if you're curious to know what some of the other colors look like on the nail and in real life, here are some pictures of nail looks I've done off camera, because at this point I have used these multiple times. But with that definitely comes some trial and error. So I'm going to share with you some of my tips based on my experience with them. When you first grab these, you have to shake these up, because even if they're sitting for just a little bit, you got to mix everything together. Once you do that, then you're going to open the container, take the brush and get a dot, and I mean a dot of product. And then before the brush comes out of the container, you're going to wipe the bristles on the rim of the container, basically to get all the excess ink off of the brush. Then we're going to apply these using the lightest touch. It's almost like you're floating across the nail, because if you use too much pressure, you may put a little bit too much product in one spot versus the other, unless that's the look you're going for. All, to each their own, but lightest pressure, because then you get that really cool marbling effect, and it does a lot of the work on its own. All you have to do is guide the inks to where you want them to rest. So I'm going to be starting at the midpoint of the nail where we have laid down that milky white, and then moving the brush upwards. Each nail will be unique because I was inspired by a jade bracelet that I seen, and anytime you see jade, they have those beautiful colors in them, but no stone looks exactly the same. So that's what we're going for on the nails. So you need to let these inks dry down for about 10 to 15 seconds. So I like to work on one nail at a time, because by the time I get back to the first nail, 15 seconds will have passed. As soon as you're done using whatever ink color you choose, make sure you put this cap on the bottle and close it tightly so that it doesn't dry out, because this is not a gel product, but also you don't want to drop it or knock it over. Next, I'm going to be taking the jade green color, and I'm going to be swiping this on the nail. So the first time when I laid down that dark green, I did kind of swivel the brush a little bit from the top, working from the bottom. But this time I'm going over the empty spaces where we can still see that milky white. I'm also not afraid to go over that dark green, because these can be layered. Now this is going to be another trust the process nail look, because it looks a little crazy right now, but I promise you it all comes together in the end, so stay with me. But once I have that laid down, we're going to let it dry, and then I'm going to be taking the milky white and laying it on top. And once you lay down the milky white, you'll be able to still see the inks underneath it. So essentially what we're doing is sandwiching the products together. Picking up that jade green again, I am going to gently dab it over some of the areas where I feel like the dark green is a little too pigmented. So this time I am going to be doing things a little bit differently. I'm taking a flat brush, dipping it in alcohol, and then wiping the brush onto a paper towel, because I want the bristles to be just a little damp and not completely soaked in alcohol. And then I'm going to be taking that dark green ink again, putting just a drop of it onto the nail, and then using my brush to move the inks around. The bristles of the brush pick up the excess ink from the nail, so I'm able to create the illusion of little thin lines on the nail without accidentally adding too much product back onto the nail. Once I'm satisfied with the way things are looking, I'm going to go back in again with my milky white, but this time I'm making sure to apply the thinnest layer possible, because if we apply a thick layer on top, it's going to take away that jade color. So we still want it to be a light milky jadey green and not a complete milky white. To finish the rest of the ombre, I'm going to take this color here and place it on the bottom half of the nail, starting at my cuticle area and then working my way up to where the green begins. Then once that's done, I'm going to cure in a lamp for 60 seconds. After curing, I'm going to move along to top coat, and I will be taking this one here, the Yogo Zombie Top Gel, which is a medium viscosity, just like the base gel we used earlier. And now we're finally at the final cure, so we're going to do this for 60 seconds. And here are what the nails look like all done. I really enjoyed doing these nails, and I am very happy with the way they turned out. I know it may seem like we had a lot of steps to get to this point, but the steps were easy to do, especially because we had those inks, so it made the marbling process go by quicker because they would just air dry and then you can layer them on top of one another and you don't have to worry about curing them and waiting for 60 seconds each time. So that definitely helped speed up the process. All the products I use will be listed in the description box down below. And if you like to see more marble looks, let me know in the comments or give this video a thumbs up and I will be more than happy to do so. If you are not subscribed, make sure you do so on your way out. But in the meantime, I will see you in one of these videos here.